And you guys see somebody new down there on the bottom of the overlay there. Everybody knows him as the man of the hour, Mr. Fatal Blades. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Man of the hour, minute, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Just
Is that
depends.
she said? Is that what she said moment?
It could be. Very well could be.
I read an article in a woman's magazine. Is that like an ICP thing you got going on over there?
No. I'm a Danzig real quick. Just get the devil walking.
He's got his mohawk.
Is that like an ICP thing or more like corn?
Punk rock. It's actually a full mohawk, but I just haven't shaved the sides in a while. A little bit of Danzig.
Must be nice to still have hair.
Well, you know.
Not to walk my way. Mm-hmm.
I'm really just growing it out so I can flush out the beard more. That's going to be the goal.
It's a good idea. Do it while you still can, brother.
Yes, for everybody that's wondering if I have to shave this off, we've talked, me and the boss, and so far we're still good. But this is the only downside to it. She said I had to start getting donations to keep it. She has to see some kind of money coming in to keep it, because that's the only reason I got to keep it. It's because everybody wanted me to. So sorry guys to be like that, but hey, $1, I don't care. Just so I can say, here you go, honey. This is for another day for my beard. So.
I might just give you my last $1. I actually had good friends that donated, said, I want you to buy yourself a pizza just for you and some beer. And I took them up on the beer part right now, because I can't afford that shit. But I might have to shave my beard, and a little part of me might die, because I gotta be professional for the next project I'm taking on.
Don't shave it all the way. Just groom it really well.
Yeah, and I'll bring it down to like a number 2 or something.
Have a what is it? What is that guy's name in Princess Bride? He has that little shoestring. Antonio, you killed my father.
I'll bring it down to like
Inigo Montoya.
Yeah. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father.
Did I tell you guys that the actor that plays Inigo Montoya is also from Criminal Minds, and his name is Mandy Patinkin, I believe?
I don't know, but that's what you need to do is like have that little fine, all the way down, and then yeah, man, it's look fucking pimp.
Oh, dude, I used to do that. When I used to go to the hood to get a haircut, a black dude would do my haircut, and I'd be like, yo, I just want make it look trim, don't thin it out completely, make it look nice, and he would make it like thin it down to the end so it looked like sharp at the end, like daggers coming out. And I swear I look like the devil, man, because then, like, I don't know. I was like, oh my god, I look back at those pictures and like, oh.
El Diablo!
It's like freaking the white devil.
Right?
Iquitsuocha?
Oh, man. I have no idea what's going on.
So what have you guys been up to the last week? You guys watch any shows or any new ones that we haven't heard about yet?
Yeah, I'll let Fado go first.
I know you have, because you told me, because I told you to watch a couple.
Oh, man. New shows. Nothing new. Like,
Or movies.
I mean, I've been catching up on, like, my more classics. I actually, because all the snowpocalypse kind of got to me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch Groundhog Day. I'm going to watch it just for that scene where he drives him off the cliff and just boom. I mean, that was pretty much the big one.
That's what BMT call it. Yogizilla. What about you, Yog?
I actually, I have to do my little marathon run of TV shows. It's cyclical for me. So like, I'll do my marathon runs of TV and take a break from it for a little while. I'm still keeping up with The Walking Dead. And when Doctor Who comes back, that's about it. But for purposes of shows, and be part of the zeitgeist, the water cooler conversations. But
I'm good with those.
I've been doing more movies lately,
I
and
don't drink water anyway.
what?
You said water cooler conversations. I don't drink water anyway.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be so shit today. I'm so gone. I'm like,
No, dude, that's my point. I'm sorry, I have that this week.
No,
You have
that-
to be on point.
that was good. That was good, and I put a really good play off of what I just said. I'm so sleep deprived right now, and then
I mean, I actually had. Did
being
you hear this,
buzzed.
Fatal? Fatal, do you hear this? I actually had something good, and he just. Bleh.
This is why we can't have nice things, of course, right there.
That escalated quickly.
Oh my god.
And yes, guys, this is the king
Oh
of
my
saying
God.
that de-escalated or that escalated quickly. So, if you hear that a couple times, it's all Fatal. So, well, we're gonna get right into it, guy. Yogi, I do want to ask you a question. How did you like those? Enjoy those two movies?
Oh, we're gonna have a whole segment on that.
No, it's we got 5-10 minutes in the beginning.
I'm assume one of the ones you're talking
Oh.
about is RoboCop.
Oh, you gotta. Okay, I didn't. Oh, there it is. Anyway, so we're gonna get right onto it, guys. Tonight on the show, there's no news because YOLO.
Because YOLO.
Whatever. Go to them once.
I will be so dedicated. He reads the shit I write verbatim.
We'll
I
briefly
can write
discuss.
I can write. I'm eating dead babies right now, and he read it.
Yeah, that's fine, but I read it because it's funny and it gets laughs out of you dumbasses.
And then
We're
it'd be
briefly
right
gonna
back to
discuss
mustard.
the lost generation era of gaming, ones we just don't talk about anymore. The fifth generation. What? Anyway, do you love movies, guys? We're going to discuss our favorite in recent times, and this is why Yogi said I'm not answering that question earlier. Finally, we're going to keep the hype train going for our latest Mega Awesome giveaway, hashtag, and some of the UBN initiatives as well. So if you're new to the show, guys, welcome to our geeky gathering. Yeah!
Yay!
He never gets it. It's all good. HorsePLAY Live is where geeks come to play, and 10 times out of 10, we get in trouble too. So we are the flagship talk radio show for Geeky Antics Network in collaboration with AllGames.com and the United Broadcasting Network. Our show covers all the aspects of geek culture and a special focus on indie strategy games, technologies, social issues that geeks face daily, community events, and of course, if we don't rant, it's not HorsePLAY Live. Okay? But yes, we're going to rant yeah. Sometimes we can even talk about some tabletop gaming just because it's good. And speaking of good, food. We always talk about food. But we're going to put our gaming in here so we don't, so those that are watching for 2 minutes don't ban us. Okay? So that's, we just want to make sure that this is a gaming podcast. We will say that. Yogi, tell everybody a little bit more about the show, man.
So yeah, we're a late night show. We have an interactive layer, and with interactivity, that's to be the marketing back, like buzzword, I guess 90s, but now it's not really a thing, but it is a thing because it's not social media.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to be social with the social media and engage you in meaningful ways that make you tingle in your loins. Or not. If you don't have loins, then it makes you tingle in other parts.
I'm feeling pretty sexy too there, sweetheart.
And we speak from the heart sometimes. Things get real. Sometimes they get a little awkward. But most of all, we're just having fun. And we try to, when we go into our roundtable discussions, our topics of the evening, we try to explore all the different sides of it. We involve the chat in there. We involve our guests in there. And we just want everybody to have open mind and have a good old time. Because after all, our name is HorsePLAY. HorsePLAY Live. So it's going to get live, son. And it's going to be a lot of horsing around. It might even be a little My Little Pony. Just putting it out there. delicious brownie. Please put it in my mouth.
You sound kind of sexy. Why don't you get your sweet ass on over here? Grandpa, stop it. Okay.
With all
right,
this, why
both
would
of you.
anyone say that escalated quickly?
Both of you stop. That's all. We don't need that right now.
Stop it.
No, that escalated quickly.
Moving along now. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yeah. I don't know. Are we right here? HorsePLAY Live
We are there.
is every Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific, on Twitch channels Geeky Antics and simulcasted on Yogizilla on Twitch. Twitch channels, yeah, anyway. HorsePLAY Live replay is also available on Thursdays at around 5 p.m. Eastern Time on allgames.com. So go to allgames.com, hit the live chat button about 5 o'clock, and you guys are here this episode right here this week. So, and since there's no news tonight, guys, yay! We're going to get right into it, and we are going to go right now into Geeks Engage. This is a show about you guys, about you, everybody, and everybody listening on the podcast, and actually everybody here live. This is all about you, our fellow geeks. Join the conversation here. Live here. Here's our TeamSpeak info. We'll see if Yogi or Fatal put that into the TeamSpeak. And but please use headphones so we can actually hear you and not hear ourselves. It gets kind of retarded. It makes me pissy. Yeah. Just go with that. That's all. It makes me pissy. I don't want to hear. Mom. What are you doing? Leave me alone, Mom. But anyway, Yogi, what are you doing, man? I'm still trying to figure out like what the hell he's doing. Like, really? I don't understand.
In my head, I just hear beer fest.
Turd
I
Slammer,
remember my
what's up?
first beer.
The Turd Slammer in the house.
This is a great night for you. That is a great name. That is a fantastic name. I approve of that name. Like there's no words that make me laugh more than poopy, dookie, or turd. I don't know why. I never matured past that point, but that just still tickles my fancy in so many ways.
Ow.
But
Okay.
This is the best night for new viewers and listeners to join in.
Great name, dude. Great name.
It is great. It's fantastic.
Oh man.
In the words of the doctor. Fantastic.
Whew. Go ahead, Yogi.
So yeah, folks, we put the TeamSpeak info in the chat. Now, usually around this time, we look at our iTunes and Stitcher and TuneIn Radio, all our reviews throughout the interwebs, and play voicemail messages and all that stuff. Let me see. Let me look real quick and see if there's anything on Ask FM. Because iTunes is kind of a turd to get into, so I'm not going to do all of that. That's crazy. But if you did leave us an iTunes message, you could tweet us. If you left us a review, tweet us at Geeky Antics, at Yogizilla, at Obi1X2. We'll make sure we read it on the air because we don't check it constantly.
At Fatal Blades.
At Fatal Blades. Why not?
I'll retweet it. They'll see it.
I don't know if Fatal wants to be a part of that train wreck.
No. Hey, fuck that. Tweet Fatal too. Tweet the living shit out of him.
And that's Fatal. That's F8TL Blades. The underscore
If you're
only
like-
works in his Twitch.
You're like going to take a dump now. At Fatal Blades. Yeah.
Oh,
at
whoa! Hold on, this is a good one, guys. Did you ever
What's that?
fall asleep in school? There's some good stories with that. It's a good. I mean, I'm about to reply to that right now.
Can I reply live?
Isn't that the point? Question.
Can I reply live?
Yeah, let's go
Have
for
you
it.
ever fallen asleep in school? Okay, this is my worst one because yes, I fall asleep all the time. especially in like history class. Because the guy would be like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, what I have up here is the map of Europe. So right here, all the way to the furthest west point of Europe, I will. Oh God, you just pass out, dude. You know,
Wait, you had
Mister Tar.
you had
Are
Ben
you
Stein?
awake back
Ben Stein as
there?
a teacher?
What?
Ben Stein.
Yeah,
The
like
Visine,
literally.
the Visine guy. Visine.
Yes.
Visine.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. And then he would sit there and be like, "Are you
Bueller.
awake back there?" And I go, "Nope."
Oh
Well,
gosh.
please lift up your head and open your eyes so I know that you're awake. Please.
Oh god.
And then if you didn't do anything, he'd go, "Hey, lift up your head." I'm, like, yeah,
Dude.
I'm awake. Freaked out, but I'm awake.
Dude.
But he basically they one time they left me alone, okay, and he didn't say anything to me because he knew I wasn't gonna wake up. So what had happened is he allowed the other students to write on my face, and on top of that, I was drooling at that.
Oh,
And I had
god.
a beard in high school. I had facial hair in high school. So if you think about it, a guy with this much hair, and I had about the same, and the guy with this much hair and saliva going down into his beard, so I had like a matted half a goatee, like half the day, because I didn't know, because nobody told me. So yeah. Yogi, what about you, man?
I had a teacher in high school called Mr. Vlock. I went to a military / private / Jesuit ran school. Good times. And it was all boys. Oh,
That sounds like my kind of school.
it was freaking. Oh god, the
You know what I'm
nightmares.
saying, Fatal?
But-
all the future paper boys in there.
Basically, because it was all boys, the teachers did not pull any punches. So Mr. Vlock, he was a great teacher. He made math really fun, but you disrespect him, and he's gonna get you. So like he would, anytime someone would miss a day of school, he'd be like, "Oh, maybe he's home, having some chocolate cake with a little hot water bottle on his head, and watching some Saturday morning cartoons on a Thursday." He's just a funny dude. Like he was just talk all retarded. But the best part was, if you fall asleep during his class, you would get this sense while you're sleeping, like everything's suddenly gone silent. Like, what's going on? And he'd tell the whole classroom to be quiet. He like freaking, because he was I think I'm pretty sure he was in Nam or something. Like he's ex-military, hardcore dude. And he'd like have everybody get quiet, and he's like kind of like ninja up to you, start doing a little army crawl up to you, and get up slowly, and just wind up his leg and kick the shit out of your table, and wake you the fuck up. It was great. What the worst way to wake up ever.
He's probably one of those teachers where he'll go, "All right, in your head, 64 times 64. If you don't get it right, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out."
He was pretty
Wrong.
cool. He was pretty cool. Like he wasn't that hardcore, but like just one thing, just don't like try to talk over him, and don't sleep during his class. That's all. He was pretty chill otherwise. And like if you got through the material, fast enough, he'd have time for banter. He'd like joke around for a little bit and tell you funny stories and everything, tell you war stories, all kinds of shit. He's a really cool teacher, but oh man. Was it a high crawl or a low crawl? It was about a high crawl, because he wouldn't go straight on the floor. It was more like on his knees kind of thing. But in my head, it played out as like a full on army crawl going under barbed wire. He's funny. He's a funny dude. Actually, my math and English teachers are probably the most interesting people all across the board. Because my other math teacher, Mr. Vlock, he was like the like stereotypical nerd. I don't know, we're going way off topic about the sleeping thing, but he would like tell you stories. Like his thing, he would say, "Hey, I'm gonna teach you guys how to pick up women when you're not here. I'm gonna teach you some pickup lines." And his pickup lines were like fun math facts, and it was hilarious. He had
Were they
gave
like
us
this one right here? Women's rights.
no, no.
Okay.
He had a pamphlet of fun math facts, like tricks, magic tricks you could do with math, and like eye teasers and all kind of puzzles and fun with numbers kind of thing. Like he had a whole pamphlet of them, and that was probably the highlight. Just the most eccentric kind of characters.
Oh
that I
man,
had.
that played out so much worse in my head. Like you're like, he's got all these math pickup lines, so I'm thinking he's like, hey, you show me pi and I'll show you my Roman numeral.
I'm
It's like,
sure.
whoa,
I'm sure that's part of his hidden stash. That's part of his hidden stash, right? Let me get a bit of that pie, girl. Let me get a
Can
bit.
I be the dot one in your pie?
Let me get a little bit of that 3.14, girl. You know what I'm saying, girl? Yo, yo,
Back that 3.414 up.
I will break that pie down to the 7th decimal point, girl. You know what I'm saying?
ain't no rounding here. We're going into long division.
Oh my god! Oh god!
What about
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die
What
tonight.
about your sleep story for school?
Okay, I'm gonna slightly front load this with the moral of the story before I start. Ladies and gentlemen, never fall asleep in an art class. Don't do it. I'm tired, just totally wrecked one day, go into class, and I'm like, it's art. No one's gonna care, says the guy who went graphic design in college. Don't ask. All right. Fall asleep, and I snore. I snore so bad. I mean, people probably down 3 buildings over heard it. So when I fall asleep in class, it's blatant. All of a sudden, there's a new art project. And so the teacher goes up there and she goes, okay, boys and girls, today we're going to learn origami. And she starts like showing people how to fold those annoying little triangle paper poppers that like every kid in junior high knew how to make, unless, well, if you're as old as me. And so she loads everybody up with one. And I'm talking like not little, notebook, no, construction paper. Huge freaking mortar shell version. I'm passed out hard. She's like, boom! It sounds like freaking Call of Duty went ballistic before Call of Duty existed. I hit the freaking ground. I don't know what's happening. I just boom, and it's an old desk, so like my foot's caught in the little under basket of the desk, and like I'm just on the ground. Desk is sideways. I wake up and she's like, "So what did you learn?" I was like, "That was loud." Boom! No, what'd you learn? She pops another. It's just, don't fall asleep in art class. All right, good. Now, what? Go ahead and make one. I was like, oh, God, I hate my life. It was literally like a 21 popper salute to wake you up. And I took the desk, like, it was horrible.
Did you guys ever have friends that like learn that little trick with the straws where you like wind them up and then snap them and it makes a really loud pop?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I could do that really, really good.
The things we do when we're bored.
And I'd get it to where I'd flick with my 2 middle fingers, which are your 2 strongest fingers, and you just sit there, you wind up and you boom, and just
Oh.
I used to have a guy that would get the, those long pixie sticks? Okay. You know those? Okay, I could hit it so hard I could pop one of those if somebody could get it topped or wrapped hard enough. So I had a buddy of mine that was on, I don't remember, he was probably on, I think, a football team. He'd sit there and he'd grab one end, and then other person would grab the other end, and they'd start twisting. like a grown dude. I mean, just twisting like this. And they'd get it to where it's almost to where all you'd have to do is just touch it with a needle or something and it'd blow up. And we went into the outside the teacher's lounge. Well, this goes both ways. Okay? Motherfuckers, you fuck with us, we're gonna fuck with you. Teacher's lounge, the principal is in there sleeping, taking a nap. It's lunch hour, you know, it's all good. Like, we're gonna get in so much trouble. No, we're not. We just gotta hurry up, pop it, and run. I hope he's not watching right now, or he doesn't listen to this in the future. But I'm glad I'm not saying my name out loud. But we got it so tight. I mean, tight. And one first time, didn't do anything. Second time, I said, crack the door open. They're like, no. I said, do it. It's gonna be funny because he's passed out. So we slowly got the door open, and I just took all I had. It just come down and it, bow, and it echoed through the whole school. And into that room to where I'm no lie, the principal was flat on the couch with one leg down on the floor and then the other leg up on the couch. He was literally 4 feet above the couch when he heard it. And he came storming out there. We were all running around the corner. He never caught any of us because then we ran into a group of kids and we just kind of mingled, you know. And just kind of, you know, were like this. And all of a sudden he comes out, which one of you little motherfuckers did that? I mean, I'm like, what?
Obi pulled the Assassin's Creed, you know, go into a crowd, suddenly you disappear.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, he was so, oh my God. He's like, I know one of you little, I mean, he had to take time off after this day. Because we didn't see him for like 2 weeks because he sat there and, I know one of you little shitbags did it and I'm going to catch you little mother. And then the assistant principal comes out and goes and tells him, like, dude, you got to shut the hell up right now. You need to go inside. And it's this little old girl, you know, this little old tiny, fresh out of college, has to be.
What?
So funny, man. It's so funny.
Oh, man. Don't even get me started about like when you have a young female teacher in an all boys school. Gosh.
Cat Call City, right?
Oh God. It's like, you know, it's all everything's context, right? So like when you're young, hormone raging, and you don't get to see women that often, it's like a 5 suddenly becomes an 8. Maybe a 9, you know?
Hey, was she one of those teachers that would like flaunt it, like wear like tight skirts and shit?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we had teachers that definitely like wore like thongs and like sheer skirts, like form fitting. It's like, really? Do you know what you're doing?
I'll be right back. Sorry for guys. The guys, they're gonna just continue on. Our son's awake.
Now, real quick, this kind of breezed over, but I do believe at some point Yogi kind of compared middle school to if you're there long enough, a 4 or a 5 can become an 8 or a 9 really quick.
That was my high school.
Oh God. Okay, so high school was
No. My elementary school days and middle school days were completely different. We had women.
Oh, we'll see. That's fair.
That was yeah. That's actually really weird. I remember there was this one girl. We'll call her Dora.
The Explorer?
Yes. Why not? She used to always grab my ass whenever we'd go up the stairs. And I actually felt violated, even though she was rather easy on the eyes and she had a really nice rack. Just saying.
Maybe she was looking for her map.
She may have been looking for a map.
Where's the map?
I think I did see her one time in our homeroom by herself, going backpack. You know, so that doesn't make sense. But
That's possible.
Good times. Those were good times. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. You don't want me going down memory lane. Not in this condition. Bad things will happen. But guys. Don't forget, you can join us, the gang, the Geeky Antics crew, at our official headquarters at geekyantics.net. You comment, share, join us on the forums. Forums is still a thing. Discussion boards where you can have topical discussions without people spamming you with game invites or talking about Gamergate or the dress, the hashtag the dress, because whatever, everybody's talking about that. We would love to see what you guys think. We're a little behind on our content schedule. We have like at least 20 drafted articles in the queue and a bunch of other things in the works, but I think we haven't finalized them. But it's coming, I promise. But give us a little nudge.
While Obi's not here, I would like to put an open challenge out. I want someone to get on geekyantics.net and beat him in achievement score. There's achievements on the site. I want someone to get ahead of him in achievements.
Which won't be very difficult. It's like there's like people in the 200 to 400 range in points, and then there's like everyone. Then there's like the top 3 people that are like 1,500 or higher. So you got a lot of wiggle room in there. You got a lot of margin to play with. But yeah, BFT gets the feels. He's like, it sounds like deployment. Everything starts to look good after a certain point. Yeah. We used to have school dances with like all girls schools, and that was it was a meatball fest. I mean, you want to talk about Chris Browning people, like cock blocking left and right. I didn't find the school dances fun at all. I went to one and I was like, wait, I'm paying to go to this thing just so a bunch of dudes could cock block on the one girl that we all want to get with. Yeah.
That's every high school.
Yeah, but see, it's worse when it's pent up and then you have like this one event that may be quarterly, you know what I'm saying? Like when you see the girls day to day, you get to feel out which ones are high in demand, which ones open their likely open sesame, you do your homework.
Yes, you do.
But anyway, I probably sound like a real asshole right now. Yeah, I mean it's different when you're going to school with certain girls. You know which one's the community bicycle and which one's the Holy Grail. There's a big difference. The community bicycle, everybody gets a ride. And that's okay sometimes.
Hey, as long as you're like near the first, that's fine. Anything after 10, you're kind of like
yeah.
You really go up to 10? Like
a lot of dudes, yeah. Number? Yeah, 10's the cutoff, right?
All right, we're getting kind
sloppy seconds. That's no problem.
Where we don't need to be talking right now.
But anyway, guys, yes, Geeky Antics.net, come join us over there. We don't always get sexual or weird. We don't go to dark places. We keep it pretty open.
Your mic keep turning down?
Who, mine?
Yeah.
Well, I have my mic further away. I didn't want to like this. This computer is really loud. I haven't gotten the other one up yet. So I'm trying to move it further away so that it doesn't pick up.
Keep it right there because I'm gonna adjust your sound then.
Okay.
Because you keep getting quieter.
Am I?
Yeah.
I'll fix it post-production.
Hey, I have freaking high quality headphones, and you bitch about me having them, but I just heard you get quieter. I was worried. I was looking out for you, homie.
Really? Let me.
I was making sure.
Let me try this right here.
Oh shit! Let me be able to turn you down.
Rip ears.
I just. Well, it's just I have a side address microphone, so I had to just kind of point it more towards me.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have a voicemail line. It's still a thing. 206-415-4987. And I'm just gonna say straight out. Usually I'm pretty laid back and PC. I'm gonna say stop being pussies. Leave us fucking voicemail. 206-415-4987. 206-415-4987. And if you don't leave a voicemail, I'm going to assume you have some horrible genital growth. And that's why you're not leaving voicemail.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, it's called my dick.
What a dick.
My dick. Anyway.
What the
and
heck?
in Fatal's case, lack thereof.
Hey, look. A Tic Tac leaves a crater when shot out of a 22, all right? I don't want to hear it.
I'm still waiting for Sally Struthers to come out with a commercial where it's like, in the arms of an angel, and they're showing some guy with micro penis. You know what I'm saying?
Whack away. Anyway, this is this episode is turning into a sexual talk between three dudes. I am not comfortable with this.
It's okay as long as the shafts don't touch, right? Is that the rule? I forget. I don't know what the kids talk about these days.
No, it's not okay.
Shafts or balls? One of those. Kayaks understands. Kayaks is in the chat. He's like, OMG, yes. Not yes, yes.
Anyway.
One more thing. We also have an email. You don't like voicemail? I know some people are self-conscious about their voice. And if you record your own voice long enough, you get over that. That's what I recommend. Whatever you use, a cassette recorder, if it's still a thing, or an MP3 player that has a recording option, Audacity, whatever you use, or freaking Windows sound recorder. Record your voice, get used to it, play it back, get used to it, and then leave us a voice. But if not, you can leave us an email at mail@geekyantics.net. That's the global mailbox for the entire network.
You're starting to cut off now.
Am I?
The end of your, we didn't hear net. That's mail@geekyantics.net, guys.
How about now, Obi?
Oh.
Really?
Oh my god.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like the very end, like your noise gate was dying or something. But
Really?
anyway, guys.
Man, I can't win. How about now? Is that better?
That sounds sexy, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Say it, Fatal. Say it.
Finish him. No.
No.
Wrong context.
Say it.
Oh yeah. No,
There
I
you
can't.
go.
I can't do it. I'd have to go Macho Man, and that's the only way I can do it.
yeah.
Yeah, like I just. Oh yeah.
That sounds good.
Macho Man is always good.
Now a segment everybody loves and loves to hear, regardless who's saying it. But we're gonna go with it. Man crushes and Geek Girl, yay! This is the segment where we share our favorite man crushes or geek girls of the week. If you want to be or suggest your favorite man crush or geek girl, contact us via Twitter, all games, and the official game website. We'd love to hang out with you, but for now, let's join and let's see who are geeks of the week. Yogi, who is your geek of the week?
I am giving the shout out to AM Audio Media, the creators of Doctor Who Dark Journey radio drama. Good people's over there. We converted them over to Twitch. I mean, they already been all around the podcasting scene, but when we introduced them to Twitch and got them to take the plunge, they were like, wow, this is awesome. And they're not really like hardcore, like the whole crew over there, they're not really hardcore gamers. But I mean, it's mainly voice actors and producers and writers type peoples, but we got them curious about like the Twitch community, so that's awesome. And they're just really supporting what we're doing over here in Geeky Antics. They approach us to like collaborate with us, so we're really excited about the potential partnerships there, and we're excited about what they're doing already. You know, Doctor Who stuff. I mean, they're making their own fan fiction into a radio drama. That's fantastic. So. Who knows? They might even
I'm looking for work.
yeah, right. They might even start streaming. Who knows? Anything can happen. Of course, you know, with Twitch being kind of attentive about the whole non-gaming content. You know, who knows what can happen? But there's still opportunity there. Someone's got to pave the way and take the risk, right?
Right. Fatal Blades. Do you have a geek of the week? I know you've been starting to stream lately, and is there anybody that just stands out to you late?
Oh man. Let's see. Streamer.
Streamer doesn't have to be just a streamer. It could be any geek.
Any geek.
Yeah.
I was watching the large lupus charity 48-hour stream, and it was huge. Like they did Geek and Sundry did it, and we all know my love of Felicia Day, that whole thing. But actually, I've got to give it to a guy by the name of Hector Navarro. He was on the night crew for that. and he killed it. Dude was hilarious, great attitude, always really positive, funny dude. I believe you find him at Twitter at, and this is about as pretentious as he can get, but it's at Hector is funny on Twitter, and that dude's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. And I've been so busy this week that I haven't really watched anybody. So guys, I am sorry that I don't have one. I've been family takes precedence right now, and I think I've only streamed one time this week, and it's driving me crazy. So, and I just hit 200 followers too. So my geeks of the week is my followers on my channel. I appreciate you guys very much. Fatal, you're included, brother. And Yugi, yeah. But I appreciate you guys very much. Get me that 200th follower is just it's something. It doesn't seem like a lot, but for me, it's I'm going up. So we do want to let everybody know. Cause of course, I don't know if these guys have those, but I'll just take this time to say it right now. We're gonna have giveaways at 500 and 1,000 followers as well. So yes.
Yay!
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Quickie. The lost era of 64-bit. Yogi, do you want this?
So yeah, I just thought about it the other day.
You want
I've been gaming since, Atari 2600 Pong days.
Hell yeah.
And a lot of people have fond memories of the 64-bit era. And I just realized, I kind of skipped it in a way. When I say 64-bit era, I mean not 64-bit like today's 64-bit processors, but I mean the fifth generation of gaming, like N64,
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, that era.
Yeah, it doesn't accomplish that, but then at the same time it doesn't. Like some people look at the fifth generation from 1993 to 2001, right? I was definitely gaming through that during that time, but like N64, 3DO, I had very little experience with that. I kind of skipped those. 3DO was freaking expensive back then, and it's even more expensive now. And they barely have any content. And 3DO was the Panasonic system, right?
Don't you hate that shit? When you're getting ready to talk a long time and you keep hiccuping and you can't.
Yeah,
stop?
It was like I was trying to hold it back, and then it just went burp. And I was like, whatever. It was gonna be a pretty massive burp, actually. By 64-bit, he means 16-bit. No.
No. It's 64-bit. It's console 64-bit.
93 and 93, there were already microcomputers and the FM, they had systems like the 3DO started coming out a little later, shortly after, pushing the 64-bit processors. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean 16-bit actually started around, I want to say 88, 89. It overlapped with the 8-bit era.
I thought it was 86.
But yeah. Oh, may have been 86. Whoa. What do we got? Hey, we got someone joined the Geeky Antics crew. Tacos 22. I like that name. And I'm hungry. Thank you. But yeah, it's a weird
tacos.
It's a very the fifth generation. Tacos are great. Why not?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
64-bit, the fifth generation. This is probably the better way to call it. It's a really weird time in gaming, especially if you recognize the 93 through 2001 period, an 8-year stretch of time, right? There was the 16-bit system, a 32-bit system, and kind of really, if you look at it, Nintendo 64 kind of pushed the boundaries at the time, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it wasn't a true 64-bit system. There was some bottlenecks there, but they had a 64-bit graphic processor, 64-bit CPU. But there was something that they bottlenecked on that kept it from looking like legit, like full power, you know what I mean? But it's just an interesting time in gaming, and I was kind of going back to that time. Not so much 93, but more maybe like 97 to 2001. Because when did the N64 come out around? I think around 97, right? 98, 97, 98?
Mm.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, it sounds about right. You know what? Hold on. I've got Google.
Yeah, I was gonna Google it, but I'm just wondering. It's just weird to me. Like for me personally,
He's like, I'm just gonna Google it,
Nintendo 64.
Fatal's here.
Nintendo 64 was kind of like a blur. You know what I mean?
March 97.
Okay, so there you go. That was right under the ballpark. But like, if you look at it, like it felt like such a blur during that time. But it was a huge turning point in the gaming industry, right? Like, think about it. I remember I was already disenchanted with Nintendo by then, and I was a huge Sega fanboy. I remember seeing the Mario Putty Face demo for the N64, and I was like, yo, this is actually dope. What the heck? You know, right? Like, to see that kind of thing on the console was mind-blowing. We already saw some kind of stuff like that on the computer side. But, you know, that's besides the point. But seeing it on the console, I was like, damn, this is actually really awesome. And there was a kind of magic there, right? Because we finally started seeing on the gaming consoles, there was a paradigm shift of polygons over sprites. Because even Doom, which I think is still it still holds up pretty well. And back then it was a gorgeous game. Doom used sprites to create pseudo 3D, right? You know, everything was flat.
Yep.
So Nintendo really paved the way back here, and I don't think they get enough credit. You know, whether you love them or hate them. I don't know. This is like this random mishmash of thoughts. And it's thought about like, damn, you know, this is a huge turning point. Like that during this 5th generation of gaming consoles, we saw a lot of FMV, full motion video games. We saw the QTE games, the quick time event games. Games were heavily loaded with cinematics. I mean, PlayStation 1 came along soon after this generation, right? That's considered a 6th generation, if I'm not mistaken. And, I mean, Final Fantasy, let's talk about it. There's like 50% cinematics, you know? But, like, it was kind of like this like, ending, this, like, going away party for, like, and then also introducing new things. It was a really big turning point to me. I mean, am I the only one seeing this, or am I crazy?
No, you're crazy.
Oh, dude, I've got a lot to say about 5th gen. Like, 5th gen had so much that people overlook. When you're looking at Nintendo 64, you're looking at, you know, yeah, we got the little Mario mish face, you know, stretch his nose, make him look like Pinocchio and spring it back. But that gave us the start of, I want to say, first-person shooters gaining more popularity in consoles because we had GoldenEye.
Oh, yeah.
It was the last generation Nintendo ran the market. After that, they fell down. After Sony threw their hat in, and then Microsoft threw their hat in Gen 6, it was the last time we could say Nintendo dominates the video game market.
That's true.
We got Smash Brothers out of the N64, and one thing that you will never see out of Nintendo anymore, and I'm saying it right here and now, that generation was the last time Nintendo had any balls. And it's because they put out a game like Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was a drunk squirrel that would piss out fire imps trying to save his huge-chested squirrel girlfriend. And they were like, oh my gosh, this is so controversial. Now you look at Nintendo and they're like, guys, we're not even going to let you stream Smash Brothers because we didn't want for it to be competitive. We don't want people competing in things. Freaking horrible. Like, that is the last time Nintendo had a set on them. It brought around the first-person shooter. It brought around Smash, which started an entire revolution in and of itself. Kind of evolved Mario Kart when we first saw the drifting mechanic, and really brought the framing of the polygon work into the console world, where it had been pretty much exclusively PC before that.
Obi's about to drop a bomb.
I'm waiting. I saw it.
Keep going. I forgot.
Well,
much
de-escalated quickly.
De-escalated. Oh man, I mean, this is a quickie. This is probably something we'll come back to. So if you guys want to share your thoughts again, leave a voicemail 206-415-4987. We're just kind of shooting the shit around a little bit. I mean, for me personally, this is not the opinion of the Horseplay Live crew or Geeky Answers Network as a whole, or All Games, or anyone. This is just me, Yogizilla. I feel like N64 was a blur to me, that console specifically. But like when I look back at it, the fifth generation of consoles, it really changed a lot of things because it brought so much into the mainstream, started bringing it into it. It was a huge paradigm shift, you know, the kind of games we were playing. It wasn't just the usual puzzle slash platformer kind of games.
And two, and sorry, Yogi, but I remember it now, so I have to say it. The reason Nintendo fell too is because they started catering more to the family. Okay, like before with regular Nintendo, and I'm talking about the Nintendo, you had to blow in, you know, for like 20 times. All right, 21st time it's gonna work, and then you got to go down 16 times, and then pull it back out, put it back in, down 8 times, pull it out, pull it back in, down 6 times, hit the power button, didn't work, put it down 3 more times, power button. Oh shit, we got music. That Nintendo.
I knew a chick like that once.
Yeah, I did too. But after that, they lost it. I mean, because yeah, Nintendo 64 came out, but what was that geared towards? That was geared towards the better, like they're doing the 3D, like the 3D stuff. They're trying to get into that, which then they wanted the whole family to enjoy it. And then now look at to where they're at now. I mean, with the Wii U, it's a family oriented system. And that's why they basically said, okay, we're not gonna need these motherfuckers no more. Snip, snip. We're throw those bitches in the trash. That's why they're down. That's why they're the third console on the. I mean, out of 3.
I would actually say I'd give Nintendo more credit. They actually took more risks with the GameCube. GameCube, I actually was a big fan of it. I was actually very surprised. That's when I actually started really coming back to Nintendo and realized, hey, they still got something here. A lot of random games you wouldn't expect coming from Nintendo, like 13, and a lot of like actual violence. You know, they started going away from this, you know, cartoony, family-only kind of experience and having a wide breadth of content, and it was great. And it was a portable system. Yeah, it looked like a toy, but you know, it had an ATI graphics card in it. It actually has quite a bit of muscle under there, and some great games. Some games that I will never forget, like Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, whatever it's called. The Metroid Prime series. I mean, just those alone. I don't know those are like, you know, their first party franchises, right? That's what they rely on. But I mean, just the memories and I mean, I'm one of those crackheads that like Mario Sunshine. I don't care. I said it.
I told you, Fatal. I told you he was a crackhead.
I knew it.
Mario Sunshine was a fun game.
What's up, Beard Hat? Yes.
Tales of
This is the Bearded
Symphonia.
Man show.
Hell yeah. And Skies of Arcadia. Come on. Can we get some love?
Skies of Arcadia was pretty legit. I figured out why the 5th generation bypassed Yogi.
What's that?
I thought about it, and it hit me like a freaking bolt of lightning. If I say Nintendo 64, Yogi's going to be like, I spent 10 hours on it. Now, if I say Sega Dreamcast, there it goes. See his face? It lit up like a kid on Christmas. He's like, oh my gosh, I played Shenmue. I played Crazy Taxi.
No, he's
I was
like,
on that Space Channel 5.
He's like this. He's like, oh my god, he knows.
That's what it was. His 5th gen, being that Sega loyalist, he went to the Dreamcast. And when the Dreamcast kind of threw themselves under the bus, that's a whole nother topic, but threw themselves under the bus, Nintendo was all we were left with, and he was like, I won't do it.
No, wait, hold on. They didn't throw something under the bus. It was a kick-ass system, but by the time they released the Dreamcast, the 32X and the Sega CD, like they had too many consoles come out in a short window. They just lost faith. Like the third party, they had no third party support. The PlayStation came out in what, 94 in Japan, 95 in North America, right? And that's, like I said, it's technically sixth generation, but some people consider it fifth generation. I was still rocking the Sega Saturn, but I understand why people lost faith in Sega because they had the 32X and the Sega CD, and then they re-released the Sega Genesis. And
here's where they shot themselves in the foot. It wasn't all the consoles. When they released the Sega Genesis, they thought no one would realize that they didn't put any disk protection on their system. It was the only system in history that needs no mod chip for you to use pirated games, and they shot their game market down. Developers wouldn't make anything for them because they knew that people were just gonna rip it, and the internet was growing bigger than Sega could handle at the time. They didn't think it would happen. Unfortunately, they used a proprietary Windows, and it bit them.
Well, I mean, they were using a proprietary disk media. What were they using? SG-ROM. It was like an off size. It wasn't a traditional size.
The next one coming out, the next gen of Sega of Sega, when that came out, they had that in there. But the original version of that, you could play whatever you wanted to.
Yeah. Heck, up until about 2 years ago, I still had one. It was like, oh, get Shenmue, a couple of CDRs, and boom, I'm playing Shenmue. Not that I advocate for that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. That's wrong. Pay for the game, kids. Do it. But
Shenmue was a whole different story because that was supposed to be a Sega Saturn release and it was delayed. Yeah. So I mean, they were constantly playing catch up. I mean, look, I'm a Sega fanboy. I'm gonna admit it, but with the Dreamcast, that system was pound for pound ahead of its time. It was revolutionary. It had the multi-tap built in. It had online built in. For gaming console, that was ahead of its time. VMU, you could take your game with you and keep leveling up or progressing in the game. Freaking riding a train or riding a bus or whatever you're doing, jerking off.
You're going to fall back to the memory card Tamagotchi.
Hey,
it was a memory card Tamagotchi.
It was fucking awesome.
Everyone had that little chibi from Sonic, and they were like,
"The little chow,"
and then they're like, "Oh, I'm not feeding it anymore."
Oh, dude. I mean, I wish more games took advantage of it, but the way Sonic Adventure took advantage of it, I mean, the system was ahead of its time, and there's still consoles today borrowing pages from the Sega Dreamcast playbook. No matter what anybody wants to say, Sega took the risk, got punched in the face, got beat up. They got their lunch money stolen, so someone else could steal the glory. I mean, it's all right. I mean, I get it. Sega Saturn was severely underpowered. I love the games on there, but I had to even admit, kept it to myself, but damn, PlayStation games look kind of better. I mean, I'm playing Tomb Raider, and I got triangle boobs, and then on the PlayStation version, they're more circular. I'm like, oh, damn.
It got better. It got a lot better.
But Sega Saturn, I mean, Sega, the problem is, some people said in the chat, Sega didn't know. They didn't know where their niche was. They kind of were grasping at straws because they didn't adapt well. So, they were fantastic with 2D games, the sprite-based games. I mean, all the sprite-based games on Sega Saturn, beautiful, gorgeous.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Tails.
Sonic, X-Men vs. Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
If you play X-Men vs. Street Fighter on Sega Saturn and you use the little hack, whatever, or the cartridge or the boot ROM to play X-Men vs. Street Fighter, the Japanese import, I don't think it ever came out in the States, for whatever reason. You play that on the Sega Saturn, it is pound for pound the exact arcade game. But this era, I mean, to me, this is a very special era. I just look back and I'm like, you had the 3DO, you had the Atari Jaguar, Sega Saturn, the PlayStation, the Nintendo 64.
My mom and dad were cheap bastards, so I didn't get any of that shit.
Oh, I mean, I feel you. I mean,
pretty much if your parents weren't millionaires, you weren't touching the Jaguar or the 3DO. Those things were so expensive. I think it was saying, $700.
In general, we had we started out with the Atari, okay? That's what we started out with. And then once we were like, come on, we want a new one. We finally got a Sega Genesis. Then when because they felt bad because my dad threw it out the window. I fixed it though.
I was gonna
My
say he
closet.
played ET too, huh? Just So mad
E.T.
at
go
this.
home. Anyway, and then we got a Sega Genesis with Sonic, some deal for Christmas or something. And then after that, after he threw that out the window, I fixed it. It's in my closet. He got we got a PlayStation 1. I mean, I missed a lot just because there were so many coming out. They're like, dude, you just got one last year. Or you just got one 3 years ago. It still works. No, it don't. We'll save your money. We ain't buying you one.
Yeah. I mean, and Fatal is right on point. The 3DO was $700 at launch, and if you consider inflation, it's like that's like over $1,000 now today. And now that retro gaming is in, I don't even want to think about how much a 3DO would cost you in mint condition. Yeah, and it's not even worth it. I mean, it's cool if you want, if you're a completionist and you want everything, sure, but there's not much content on it. But yeah, 3DO, I remember thinking how cool it was just seeing a new player in the field. Then Atari Jaguar made me hopeful, like, oh man, Atari's back in the mix. That's pretty cool. Like, they're going away from the personal computing angle because they had the Atari ST and all this other stuff, right? And they're going back to the console market, and I thought that was really cool. And Atari Jaguar had some cool ideas. It had the little keypad thing going on, right? And it was cool. Like, they were taking risks, and
I could play Legend
unfortunately,
of Zelda on PlayStation 1 too.
yeah. I mean, there's just so many things going on. I mean, this is a time in the gaming where the market was really saturated. Nintendo things could have played out much differently, right? If Nintendo struck the deal with Sony like they originally had planned, and the Sony hardware would have become the Nintendo platform, right? But they said, "Screw you guys, we're just gonna skip this 32-bit era and just go straight to 64-bit." That's kind of what happened. We don't, and Nintendo's like, "We don't need you guys." But PlayStation came on to its own, and it's funny how that worked out. So this era, I think we have to revisit it. I think this is supposed to be a quickie. We went deep on it, but there's just so many things that happen in this time. It just fascinates me. Like, it's just fascinating to me. Like, I mean, we changed mediums, right? We went from cartridge to disc-based, optical storage, right? And there were still people desperately holding on to, cartridge-based system like N64. Nintendo was one of the last people to really let go of it, right?
This guy.
Also, just while we're on the topic, compact discs didn't have that long of a run compared to like 8-track or cassette tapes. If you think about it, CDs didn't really have that long of a run. I mean, it's still kind of going now, but not really.
Well, I can promise you this, Yogi. All right, this is a promise to you and Fatal. Okay. My tech guy, which you guys both know him, I think you do, Fatal. He's gonna be the guy that's gonna, run the gaming house when it starts, and we are going to start we're gonna call it the Oldies Corner, where we're gonna have a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo, a Nintendo 64, a Sega Genesis. We're gonna have all these different gaming. So it's the Oldies Corner. So you have all these different consoles, and they're all going to be able to be streamed.
I like
that
the
sounds
oldies.
kind of cool.
The Oldies Corner.
I'm all for it. I still really enjoy.
Chewy's a huge freaking. He's a huge oldie, retro gamer. So.
Yeah, the 8-bit, 16-bit stuff, I still really enjoy. It's super challenging, super hard. Some of it's really janky as hell. BFT was just talking about on the 3DO you could play Zelda Wand of Gamelon. Funny how that weird stuff kind of came out.
We don't speak of that game. That never happened.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, eventually I'm gonna open a gaming house for a professional team of some sort, kayaks. Well, it's gonna depend on what we're gonna be doing. So
I'm gonna pull in Kai Hex because he's been messaging me since early today. He wants to be in the conversation.
definitely cool.
Boom. There. I did it. I
And
did it right.
welcome to
Hello.
HorsePLAY
Oh,
Live.
God.
Hello.
You scared me.
He was scared. My body was not ready.
It wasn't.
But my body, it's
Oh
gonna
my
say
God.
yes.
Obi just turned to Keith Sweat. I was not ready for that. The freaking most ginger dude I know. And he freaking
What
goes,
is this gamer house about?
Oh, what?
The gamer house, what is that about?
Oh, that's a project I got going right now that I'm talking to different people, and we're starting to get stuff rolling on it, and yeah, it's just going to be something to where eventually in the future when we get big enough, we can have like it'll be my channel starting out with, but Geeky Antics or whoever's going to be coming can stream from the house, or just depends. Haven't really decided everything yet. We're still getting ideas for like the Noob Corner. We're gonna have an actual talk show, a radio booth like set up.
Every weekend, you should probably have like a streamathon to raise money for a charity.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. That'd be something we could do in the future. But it's gonna be to where like my room, everybody's seen my room, and then like my dad does his stuff over here in the same room. I'm actually gonna build a radio quality booth where you have the producer in one room and the actual speaker in one room. Or just get really quality mics and get a soundboard like all those big guys, like the worst radio show and the Spartan show. Look,
our friends over at UPN. Ding!
you need to put that in a sound bit, dude. Our friends over at UBN. But guys,
God.
we're gonna keep going just because we'll start bantering and we'll run out of time. So, community
Yeah.
events and giveaways, guys. Less than 30 days. Is this still confirmed? Did you extend it again?
I did extend it for like a week, and I will extend it again. Because I want people to comment. Actually, I'm going to just go through real quick. Because our next feature is going to be huge. I know, Obi, you're going to get excited about it. I thought about you, bro. But, folks, get over to bit.ly/mega awesome giveaway. Leave some comments on there. We haven't picked a winner yet, but we want more people to comment so they have a chance to win. So bit.ly/mega awesome giveaway. Let's go to geekyantics.net. Geekyantics.net for some giveaways. And leave a comment on the mega awesome giveaway posts. And then we'll pick a winner for the Star Wars Humble Bundle. Thanks to Obi, who's offering it up. And we have more stuff coming. But the only way you'll know about it if you tune into our podcast and check out the website. You know what I'm saying? Leave some comments, let yourself be known. That's all you gotta do. It's really simple. It's really easy. But we want to thank all our sponsors, B Team Podcast, the Spartan Show, the West Radio Show, Studio Bean, author Jason Brent, Lord Rakdos, Fatal Blades. I've heard of that guy. Sounds familiar. Where have I heard of him?
He's a scrub.
Beastman's, BFT 9000, Cupcake Noms. I mean, there's a bunch of people. And we can't name them all. We're still working on other things for mini giveaways, so there's more opportunities to win. So, stand by, folks. And if you want to contribute, send us a message at mail@geekyantics.net. If you want to be a sponsor. And, all right, Obi. Yay! What? You ready, Obi?
Sure.
We're ready for our feature discussion. This is probably all we have time
And
for.
now your feature presentation. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, Movie Corner Alpha. Let's talk movies we watched recently. Now there are a couple of these that I haven't, but I will give my 2 cents on what I have. The first one up for grabs, or first one up for discussion, is RoboCop 2014.
Gross.
I watched this. What?
I'm kidding. I'm only kidding. I never watched it, but I hear it was pretty decent.
You need to go rinse your mouth out with soap, blasphemer. Anyway, guys, if you guys have seen it, 2014, it was a new twist, a new plot. Not a new plot, but a new twist on how John Murphy actually got hurt. I think it's John Murphy, right? Yeah. It's how he actually got hurt. In the old one, in the one from the 80s, he actually got hurt at a warehouse going to his car. This one, if you guys haven't seen it yet, I'm so sorry. Spoiler alert. You guys don't want to hear the spoiler
La,
turn
la,
off
la,
it now. Exactly. This one, it actually blew up at his house with his family there and everything, and his wife came out and saw him there, and it was just like perfect timing because they were starting to. Sorry, it was like perfect timing because they were starting to like get into the point. You don't want to hear this, Fatal. This we were getting it. They were getting into the point to where
Turning off. That's it.
So, but all right, I'm not gonna do it. Yogi, what about you, man? I'm not even gonna talk about it. Fatal's fucking freaking out right now.
Well, actually, I watched it because you recommended it, and it happened to be on Amazon Prime, which is pretty much the only thing I watch now. I refuse to pay for cable. I'm not gonna make Comcast any more rich than they already are because they're nickel and diming me. They nickel and diming me as it is, fuckers. Anyway, but yeah, I really enjoyed RoboCop the remake. This one was more like the original was more of like a social commentary on like technology and our over reliance on it, perhaps like how technology almost enslaves us.
I can
And
see that.
gosh, imagine if we had social media back then, the kind of social commentary they would make, right?
Right.
But this one was a lot more philosophical, and I like that it made you think about like what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to have a soul, right?
Be human.
To be human, right? Because that one military dude was like kept calling him an it, and that's like the thing they kept doing like was like, no, it's a him, you know?
Yeah, and the thing is like he. Fatal, you might want to take off your headphones a minute. But the thing is like he would actually hear that. Like, what is it doing? And then somebody would say, it's not an it, it's a he. And then he would actually hear that and be like, and then think about his son and then come back through nobody's help. I mean, the doctor helped him at the end. But I mean, all right, Fatal, go ahead. Moron.
He's doing the Pac-Man with his headphones.
How about Nightcrawler? I just saw that recently.
Oh,
It's amazing.
that's the one with Jake Gyllenhaal. Is that how you say it?
Mhm.
That one that confused me because when I was like, I saw Nightcrawler, I was like, oh, it's a Marvel movie. And I'm like, oh, it had nothing to do with it. It looks kind of cool though. I
Yeah.
wish they would have picked a different name.
Not a single blue fluffy teleporter in the whole thing.
Yeah,
Biggest
exactly.
letdown.
But
That makes me
what
sad.
I do want to say though for this one, because we're gonna keep going. If you guys haven't watched it, I try not to give too many spoilers, just because it is good. Guys, go ahead and check that out. It's on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on wherever, basically. Hell, it's on Hulu. It's on everywhere. It's on Netflix. That's all you need to know about. So, RoboCop 2014. Go check it out. Watch it tonight. The next movie that we kind of just added here, which is a really good one, I, Frankenstein. Have you seen this now, Fatal?
Yes.
Have you seen this? Okay. Yeah, now, and I want to tell you right now, if you guys haven't seen it, I'm sorry, but we're going to talk about it. So if you haven't seen it, when we're done talking about it, I will actually tell you to put your headphones back on. So, anyway, feature, I, Frankenstein. Yogi, first you. What did you think about that movie?
It was fun. I mean, if you liked something like Van Helsing or Blade, I don't know, Hansel and Gretel maybe, then it's a fun movie. Like, it just takes you to this alternate reality, but it starts off like in a historical perspective. It's a different take on a classic story, and it's fun. I liked it. I mean, this is a Frankenstein creature, because Frankenstein was the scientist, not the creature. But they often share the same namesake, whatever. But it's Frankenstein's creature, but it's not like a big, hulking, clunky kind of dude. It was like a more slender, believable Frankenstein. It was cool. I like what they did with it. The whole secret society defending Earth type thing. I always like to kind of take on things. It reminded me a little bit of Supernatural TV show. I enjoyed it. It was a really fun romp. And heck, I wouldn't be mad if it made a sequel. You know, it was cool.
Right? Fatal, what do you think about it?
I thought it was really good. The way they kind of changed, like, okay, you've got the classic story. I think most everybody knows the whole Mary Shelley Frankenstein idea. If you don't, library. I know you got $1.50 in late fees. Pay them off.
Netflix.
For the book, you're going to Netflix me the book. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. You do that.
I'm going to watch the original Frankenstein, the clunky big guy that didn't have nothing to do with Satan.
Not as good as the book, all right? But still, I Frankenstein, the twist, oh, just so good. Although it's in the older time, it's got a very, very modern feel. The way they kind of... How do I put it? Okay, because my brain just went derp, I'm going to say Storytell is very modern in a different time frame. About all I got. I don't want to go into it too much. I'm like, what if?
Oh, I am. Fuck 'em. I don't care.
Oh man,
the reason I like this movie. Oh yeah, we're going fucking belly deep, dude. That didn't make any sense, but anyway. But the reason I liked it is because, of course, everybody's watched the old. You know, if anybody has watched the older Frankenstein, to where it is there was nothing to do with any of what this movie had, because it was all to do with it was while he was still, before, Frankenstein had, the doctor, okay, had even anything had even happened to him. So they basically said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make it to where Frankenstein, the monster, is on the run for something that he did. So what did he do? Killed Frankenstein, or killed his wife. Then Frankenstein went to say, hey, you fucking douche, I'm going to kill you for killing my wife. And he killed him. Actually, he didn't kill him. He froze to death.
Yeah.
So it was just a way that it happened and then they incorporated it once he was up there and he was just trying to be by himself. He didn't want any problems. They started incorporating it with good versus evil. So then you got the demons coming down, and he can actually, because he doesn't have a soul, he's easily, damn.
Influence?
Yeah. Yeah, not, I guess you could say that.
Manipulated?
Because, yeah, manipulated. Anyway, but but the fact that the matter is, like, every time they're, like, at the end of the movie where they try to say, okay, we're going to go and we're going to bring one to him, too. He's, not this body, because I have no soul. And he just it was awesome. You guys got to watch it. I'm not going to get too far into it, just because I do want to give you guys something to watch for. If you haven't watched the movie, please go do it right now, or watch it after RoboCop. This is a marathon, guys, so you guys might as well just get ready. Now, the next two, I'm gonna leave the next couple to Fatal and Yogi, just because I haven't watched them. The second one I have, but it was one of those movies where I started going to sleep, and so I missed like the middle 30 minutes. Kind of thing.
I hope you're just really tired.
Yeah. Eden Log.
This movie, if you enjoyed the Dead Space games, particularly the first one, where you had that feeling of just being isolated, confused, not really having your hand held or any kind of idea of what's going to happen next, just feeling on your own. Eden Log does that. It's a horror story, but it's more psychological than anything else. And it's just, I really enjoyed it. Though it could be grating to watch, because a lot of the scenes are very dark. and it doesn't really. You have no idea what's going on until you get maybe halfway through the film. So it starts really wearing down on you. If you're like one of those people that needs to figure things out, you need to have things explained to you early on. No, be patient because the payout doesn't come until like later on. But it's just a really interesting adventure. It really feels like if Dead Space was made into a live action movie, this would be something like it. Um, it's gotten a lot of crap reviews. I know most people probably don't like it, but I think Eden Log is actually, if you temper expectations, it's actually pretty cool. Like, just there's a lot of good potential there, and I would like to see what they could do if maybe they have more of a budget behind the studio or whatever. Because I really enjoyed it, but again, go into Eden Log with tempered expectations. It's a story about a man with amnesia who has no idea where he is and what his purpose is, and everything, the puzzle pieces start falling into place little by little. Then you find out that he's underground as part of some great world tree, shall we say, like a machine that provides alternative energy sources to a huge city. That's all I'm gonna say. It's more fun if you just watch it and just come along for the ride. There's monsters. There's suspense. There's a little bit of military element. But the psychological aspect, the part that messes with you, like, what is going on? It's some twists in there. The way I approached it is I just got lost in it. And in spite of the bad reviews, I just said, all right, let me try to identify with this character in his position. And I felt that loneliness, that desperation. And then it really gets to you if you approach it that way. Don't expect high production value or very good writing.
Fatal.
I would say, it's kind of like there's niche movies that people see, and you're gonna love this movie, or you're gonna hate it. I love any movie that will just mind fuck you. Memento, loved it. Pan's Labyrinth. I think if you like Pan's Labyrinth, you will probably really like this movie.
Yeah.
It's got kind of a very similar feel. You know, it doesn't just like jump in and go, let's load you up, let's let you tell, figure something out. That it basically challenges you to figure something out for yourself. It's not like, let's just feed you what's going to happen. This is 22 Jump Street. It's just like 21 Jump Street, but a little different. We're not feeding you that. We're going, hey, here's this guy. You know about the same thing he knows, which is fuck all. Good luck. Let's make it happen, guys. And if you can bring yourself to that kind of stance, like Memento was one of those, dude doesn't know what's happening. Whole movie plays really weird. If you haven't seen it, definitely look at it.
The first Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First Saw. Kind of, I'd say a little bit Matrixy. Just in kind of the afterthought that you'll probably go back and watch it at least one more time.
Yeah.
It's not one of those one-time watches. Like, you'll watch it and then you'll be like, okay, I got to watch it one more time to see, just what's happening. It's definitely worth watching if you like kind of those movies.
I think that's a very fair assessment. I like the Pan's Labyrinth thing because Pan's Labyrinth, if you're just looking on the surface, you're like, the hell? But if you really try to see the subtext in there, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
They went there. But, I mean, I put a lot on this list. We might have to revisit some of these.
I was going to say, if you want, that Pan's Labyrinth got stomach deep, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And Pan's Labyrinth never quite tells you if it was all a dream, if it was real or not. Like, it doesn't really settle that once and for all. It just lets you, it leaves you there. It's like, whatever you want to think it is. And you're like, damn, my brain is like, whatever, I'm done.
Yep.
That's good stuff. But the next one, a slightly different pace. Feel like more action, less psychological, more like visceral. Equilibrium, or Equilibrium, if you prefer. This is a movie that I would put up there with Boondock Saints. It's one of those. Oh, I know I'm gonna get some hate from that, but I think it's a cult classic. That there's still a lot of people that haven't heard of it. But if you don't need like really like intricate dialogue and insane plot twists, this is a great movie. Now on the surface, it looks like a fun romp with a lot of action, great choreography. I mean, the choreography in this movie is top notch. It would make John Woo blush. It's that good. I don't care what anyone says. It's almost like it was Asian martial arts, action film type thing. But it's not. There's not a single on the freaking staff. I looked. I may have missed someone, but I didn't see anyone. All right, first of all, it's a Kurt Wimmer.
How can a guy with the name of Johnny Woo not be Asian? Okay.
I don't
Just
remember.
asking.
No. I said I would make John Woo proud, but he wasn't involved in this one. But yeah, that's definitely an Asian name.
That's racist.
That's racist. No, but this is a Kurt Wimmer joint. I think that's how you say his name. So like, I guess some people put him up there with like Michael Bay with over sensationalizing things. But I think this movie doesn't go over the top. Like Ultraviolet, yes. He also did Total Recall, which I haven't seen yet, so I can't comment on the remake of that. He's done a bunch of other stuff. Salt. Was that Obi?
Sucks.
Ultraviolet?
No. Total Recall.
Oh, I didn't see it. I can't
It's not
say.
2013. It's 2012.
Is it 2012? I thought it was. Okay.
Mm.
But I
It
don't know.
wasn't that good.
Nah,
The Kurt Wimmer one, right? Yeah, it's 2013. It's 2012.
I
I thought it
corrected
was
it.
really fucking stupid, really.
I skipped
We'll get
it.
to that one in a second.
I like the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, but anyway, Equilibrium. Oh, wait, we have someone here. Oh, see, Beard and Hat says Equilibrium is the hotness, way better than Boondock Saints. Ooh, shots fired. Now I can't compare them because Boondock Saints is more the subtext there is talking about the importance of having faith, right? Because those guys, the Boondock Saints themselves, they were kind of klutz. They were like anti-heroes in some ways, right? But they have faith. Like they weren't like the best sharpshooters or the most well-trained, but they got lucky every time, right? Like they practically tripped on their own. They were like the Luke Skywalkers of present time. 'Cause Luke Skywalker was a bumbling idiot. Let's be honest.
That's true.
But he got really lucky, But anyway, we're gonna talk about Boondock Saints. That's a whole different ball game. But Equilibrium, Equilibrium talks more about there's a social commentary there. There's philosophical issues and the plot twist. There's a lot more depth in there underneath this nice veneer of action and nice gunplay. I really feel like the more I rewatch it, I'm like, man, it's really talking about a lot of deep stuff, like how people sometimes rally under this pretense of peace and balance, but it's all about one person having power, right? And no matter what system you have, communist, capitalist, democracy, republic, whatever system you use, right? There's always someone in power, ultimately, someone's agenda that's taking over. It talks about like the high cost of freedom, and if you lose the free will, is that really peace? Is that really living? I mean, there's all these different things, these different themes that are under there. I think is just awesome, and they don't force it down your throat. They just kind of just throw it down, like this hints upon it. I think it's a very well done movie. I mean, again, I watched this movie dozens of times. I rewatched it recently, and I'm like, man. Not to mention Sean Pertwee, Hoovians, the son of John Pertwee. Come on now. The third Doctor Who.
Dude, Norman Reedus. I told you I'm gonna have Boondock Saints commentary in this. I just want
Sean
things out.
Sean Pertwee is from the Gotham too, by the way.
I actually haven't started watching it.
Oh gosh, okay.
I know.
And Equilibrium. Before you go off into your rant, they have two dudes from Prison Break. Before Prison Break was a thing. Prison Break.
He said Prison Break.
I know I did. I'm pretty tipsy. I'm pretty tipsy right now. They had Dominique Purcell and the other guy. I think his name is something Flanagan or something like that. Or I don't know. Anyway, go ahead, Fado.
Okay, I'm just gonna start this out now. Before the hate in chat and whatever backlash you guys might leave as comments. All right, Equilibrium it's a good movie. It's good. But right in the comparison, even Yogi said it. You all heard it. It is just like Boondock Saints. It's a lot of action, but it is nothing like Boondock Saints because it does not have the great witty one-liners. It doesn't have the snappy dialogue. There is no ding-dong, motherfucker, ding-dong. 50 douchebags are not getting something from that movie tattooed on their back. It's... Boondock Saints, and here's the other thing I've got is when you look at it, I'd say Boondock Saints was more, yes, the faith thing definitely played a part. My takeaway from it though was when you look at Boondock Saints 1, it's more literally they open the movie with it. It's the everyday person stepping up to just say no. We've had enough. Whether you call it vigilante justice, whatever, it's help the person next to you kind of thing. It was kind of a unified message, and I think the faith kind of plays in there for, these are those guys representing it, so let's give them this kind of, what do they call it? Protagonist armor. They've got the hero armor.
All the bullets miss suddenly.
Yeah, they can fall from the ceiling, get tied up in the stupid fucking rope, and shoot 12 guys. But they do it. Now, when it comes, I felt more, I saw the Fahrenheit 451. Only real way to make Fahrenheit 451 movie from Beard and Hat. To me, it was a little more, almost 1984 when I watched it. But, of course, that's one of my favorite books. I kind of took away that whole I love Big Brother feel, like that.
Orson Welles, is that?
Yeah. Orson Welles, the 1984 kind of that one figurehead, if you will, or, Illuminati confirmed. But that kind of one figurehead that it's, what do? You've got here. Deal with it.
Obi's mind is really blown right now. I like the way he's sitting back man, this shit's heavy. Obi's gonna go, he's gonna go lay down and be like, I gotta fix for a little bit.
Yeah.
He's
I'm gonna go lay down and go. I'm gonna fucking pass out, man. Is Obi napping? No, I wasn't napping. I was really in contemplation, and I was actually daydreaming with my eyes open on how much head I'm gonna give my pillow tonight. Oh, dude.
In my head, I'm imagining Obi's teacher going,
wow.
Head up, eyes forward, pay attention.
But, that's why I said I can't compare Boondock Saints with Equilibrium. Because it depends what you're in the mood for. If I want something that really has a profound effect on me, I'll go with Equilibrium. But if I want something that's fun and, cracks me up and has great dialogue, then Boondock Saints all the way, right?
You might just go watch Tommy Boy then.
And we're still waiting for the third one. Just saying, someone needs to get on this.
The second one, it was cool, but it didn't have the same magic for me. I don't know.
Well, it came out so much later.
Right.
They took so long to do it. And in a way, it was cool, but unfortunately, it fell under the kind of like the Cranked thing. For some reason, when people do sequels, if it's a a movie that people are like, this is awesome. And they're like, well, let's pump out a sequel. How do we make a sequel different from the original? Let's make it cheesy, campy, and basically making fun of itself. And for a while, that seemed to be the trend. And so when they kind of did it with Boondock Saints 2, at first, I hated the second Boondock Saints 2. And I'm a diehard 1 fan, but I hated it at first. And then the more I watched it, the more it kind of grew. Like when they cut to the scene and the speech, for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a very epic speech about,
Oh my God, if you haven't seen Boondock Saints 2...
Hey, I'm not just in case, but, hard men doing hard work. All right, make sure you check that out.
Yeah. I gotta rewatch it because I saw it like once.
Quickly.
And it was cool, but it just felt like so disconnected from the original. Like so, I mean, I didn't expect it to be pound for pound the same movie, right? Cause that'd be boring. But it was like, is this even part of the same universe? I don't know. There's something missing in it, but I might check it out again.
I was gonna say it was the late appearance of Willem Dafoe. That's what. There was a fire. Oh no! You get like 2 minutes.
Obi's got the shades on now. He's getting serious.
No,
What?
he's hiding the fact he's sleeping. Don't fall for that. I did that. That's how I fell asleep in class. I know this trick. Everyone, get your poppers ready.
We're not talking about Terminator movies tonight, Obi. Just so you know.
I'll be back.
Well, we were going to talk about Total Recall. I mean, real quick, did anyone see this? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Fuck that movie, dude.
Okay.
I saw
I don't even wanna
it, but
talk
it
about it.
was... I really don't either.
Don't watch
was
it. That's all I can
terrible.
tell you about it. Don't fucking watch it. Don't waste your hour and a half or hour and 45 minutes to watching that shit.
All right. Well, I know we got to wrap up soon, so I'm going to go through 2 more movies and some honorable mentions. These are completely different from the ones we just talked about. So the first one is Chinese Odyssey 2002. All right, bear with me. It's a love story with great action, slapstick, and even some musical bits. What is there not to love? It's something for everyone. Okay, Obi, thank you. But I really enjoyed it. It's a fun ride from beginning to end. And it's just really neat. Like, they explore gender roles, the true nature of love, the political / social struggles, and even it was a love story. It was a rom-com, if you will,